Hey, what's going on, dudes? Today's Blackout video is going to be a solo win, my highest kill win up until just the other day. So what you see here at the beginning is just some craziness going on in a quads game. And that was just like one of those times where you just kind of have to challenge, like you can't really wait around. And that was, I don't know what that was, but I got lucky there. I mean, he was hitting me, but that trauma kit saved my life. I mean, as you see, I did 150 to him, he did 170 to me, so that should have been a death. But I got lucky, so. Now this game is a game with 10 kills. This was my first game with 10 kills. My combat record said I had another one, but I don't ever remember that, and I'm quite sure I would have remembered that, so this is the actual first 10 kill game that I've had. And that's just one thing right there that I always do when I come here. I always close back the door after I loot. It just gives you a slight edge as far as hearing someone open that door to come in. It just gives you that slight edge when you're looting by yourself. Now here, I had heard him, so I'm just kind of moving up to him. I don't want to engage him from so far away. I can't really, it's kind of hard to tell who's zombies and who's guys from this type of range, so. And then what you'll see me do here is something that, this game is a couple weeks old, so you see me do something here that I don't recommend doing, which is running right up to the box and trying to loot it immediately. I definitely don't recommend doing that because it's a real easy way to get sniped, real easy way to get picked off. A lot of people will just kind of wait around the outside of the graveyard, and then as soon as that box goes off, they just wait and just sit there and wait for the guy to just, you know, pick up the stuff out of the box, because then he's just standing still, whatever.
Net call.
And I'll admit, if I'm a good distance away, I'll do the same. I'm not going to roll up to the graveyard and just sit there and wait and watch a guy kill all the zombies and then take him out. That's kind of cowardly in my opinion. So you see basically way more often is what I do right there, which is what I just did here. See him with the zombies and run up to him while he's distracted and kill him. And frankly, that's the reason why you don't shoot zombies. If you're going to land in these areas, which I do a lot just for the mystery box challenges, you know, trying to get weapons, trying to get operator weapons, and you can get, you know, a good amount of attachments and stuff. But when you do this kind of stuff, it's really just about stealth. So Bowie knife is preferred. Well, I used to prefer the Bowie knife. That's a good way to go, but I actually prefer Brawler instead. Brawler is the perk that allows you to do one-shot melee kills, and it actually recovers your health also. And Brawler's far better because you actually get to keep your gun. One of the issues with Blackout is if you set down your gun, then it'll actually disappear after a certain period of time. So there's plenty of times where I've set the gun down to take a Bowie knife, and then I haven't really killed the zombies as fast as possible, and after a few minutes, your gun is gone, and then you lose it. So that's just not a good way to go. And plus, if you're knifing zombies with a Bowie knife and a guy comes up, then you're stuck. You only have the Bowie knife out. So much preferred is a Brawler, which as you can see, that's what I'm using right here. And Brawler's good. Now, I was almost certain there was a guy here, so I was just taking it really careful. But there's Brawlers are almost, I would say Brawlers are there about 90% of the time. There's a Brawler somewhere, either in the Asylum or the Graveyard. At least the Asylum, I can say for sure. And that's a much preferred way for me. It replenishes your health after every hit, so even if you don't have armor, which is another thing, because zombies hit you pretty hard if you don't have armor, the Brawler will recover your health, but it's just the quietest way to kill them. Quickest, quietest, most efficient way to do it, and you also get to keep your gun out. So if someone rolls up on you and you're not expecting it, you can shoot them and kill them pretty quick. And, you know, one of the funny things is depending on what costume you wear in here, sometimes it's costume, whatever, you know what I mean. Depending on what skins you're wearing, an outfit you're wearing and stuff, a lot of times it's kind of hard to tell that there's a guy there. It's not safe, you can't really tell if it's a guy or a zombie. So, anyway, yeah. Now, I don't carry this many whites anymore. As you see, I have 16 there. I only carry six. I only carry 10 because 10 takes up one slot. And, you know, I probably wouldn't even carry 10. I'd probably only carry 5 or 6 if I had the choice. But since it takes up a full slot, you might as well carry the 10. But the only reason I picked extra ones up here is because, if you saw, I looked at the map earlier, the zone is extremely far away. And that's my fault for not knowing that sooner. I got lucky that there was a truck out there. But, you know, generally you don't want to be this far outside the zone. Like, I mean, the zone's about to close, basically, and I'm way not near it. It's about as bad as it gets. And, you know, these trucks are terribly slow. And so, and you can't go up hills with them, basically. So it's pretty much a lost cause here. Yeah, and this is why I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm going to go around. Because you're, you know, if I cross there, then I'm going to have to cross another bridge anyway. So it's like, you might as well just cross the other bridge now. And one of the things that I do with cars, I rarely, if ever, drive a car across a bridge unless I'm outside the zone. Because if you play Blackout at all, you know there are mesh mines on every bridge, basically every game, all the time. And it's a real easy way to just drive right into a death that you're not expecting and ruin your day. So I will always, if the zone is out, like I am now, again, I'll just take the bridge. That's why I did that, because it's like, well, you know what, I'm just going to take this other bridge. I'll be out of the zone. Instead of having to go down to Rivertown through a really hot area and cross through 2 bridges there also. Well, at least one more bridge there also. But as you see here, I'm going this way, and it's just, I mean, I'm going to burn through all these meds. So I see the car, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm taking that. You know, that's way faster. And you probably don't need to slow down that much, but I've had bad luck with hopping out of cars when they're moving too fast and you take some damage. And especially when you're out in the zone like this, taking a bunch of damage, you don't want to do that. But, yeah, I mean, I've been out in the zone for a long time here. As you see, I think this is a one-hit kill zone, I think. 1 damage per hit, I believe, and I'm now up to 3. So I've been out here for a long time. And this is another thing, too. I'm not going to come in at that point. That's a bad spot to be. There's no cover there. It's on the low ground, and I don't really know what I'm walking into. There's a lot of fighting, so I'm not going to go in there. I'm just going to continue up this way. And I'm taking a big risk by losing this much health. But I mean, you know, sometimes that's the risk you have to take, you know. And I never ever heal in the car. The only time I would have, I can't say never ever. The only time I would have healed in the car is like way back at the asylum. That is something that I will do occasionally, but I virtually never heal inside the car. The amount of kills that I've gotten on guys who are just sitting there in the car is actually more than you'd think. You know, you're waiting to snipe a guy, and then all of a sudden you hear the car turn off, and you think he hopped out, and you look, and he's just sitting in the passenger seat, and he's just sitting still. It's like, dude, you're just giving me a free headshot. So I will always heal inside, or excuse me, will hop out and not heal inside the car. So I'm pretty sure I heard a guy. I can't really. When I record these videos, I have to drop the volume down pretty much. I've dropped the volume down significantly on the video because otherwise it'll overpower everything, and I don't want to do that. So a lot of times, and some of these games like this one, it's from, you know, I think it's from about 10 days ago, maybe 2 weeks ago even. You know, I'm not gonna be able to hear that, so I can't exactly remember everything I was thinking every moment of the game. But I definitely saw that guy there.
Net call. Supply drop.
But as you see, the zone's closing in, and there's not really a good way to move at him and get stuck behind that wall. So I'm just gonna go this way and hope our paths cross. Yeah, I don't have too many meds either. That's also part of my decision making. You see, I only have the 1 white down there. I can't tell how many reds I have, but I probably should have those equipped right now and not these whites. Now, see, I'm not going to engage him here, even though I have the assault rifle in my back. I believe I do. I'm not going to engage him here because I'm not. This is not a sure kill, you know. But I see him crossing the street, and I think, okay, this is a free opportunity because as soon as he gets in the car. Yeah, so he's just kind of sitting still. Unfortunately, I didn't do so well with the shots. You know, really a sniper is best for that type of situation. But that's one of the things I can say is a huge tip if you play Blackout. If you see a guy going for a car, just, you know, if you can tag him a couple times, great on the way to the car. But all you have to do is just line up your sights on the driver's seat, right where his head's going to be, and just pop him a few times. And it's really easy to get kills that way. You know, obviously, like I said there, I didn't do it. I hit him a few times, but kind of a weird angle and, you know, pretty far for an assault rifle from that kind of distance. But the 7.62 is definitely the way to go if you're going to do that. You know, the 5.56 rounds or the 5.56 guns are just not that good. One of my favorite new ways to play. Mesh mines have been kind of my go-to for blowing up cars. But if in the opportunity that I can't find a mesh mine, EMP works just as well. And I've actually started preferring the EMPs as far as what they do. Because as you see right there, I mean, he's not really paying attention. Generally speaking, if guys are driving around like that in cars, they're generally not the best. That's, yeah, waste of a frag there, huh? That happens to me all the time. When you get in the bag, it doesn't pop up the first page necessarily right away. So every time I go into a bag, it's a quick right bumper, left bumper. And in that case, I just end up throwing a grenade. But there are guys who are really good who use cars, but majority of people who use cars are just, they're kind of just doing it to be idiots. They're kind of just doing it to laugh and have a good time and screw around and try to run people over. So if you EMP that car like that, do you see how long it took him to get out of that car? It was like 5 seconds before he got out of that car. Maybe 3 or 4 seconds before he got out of that car. You EMP and then he's just, again, same as the other situation, you know exactly where he's going to be. He's just sitting target in the driver's seat. So I was lighting up the driver's seat, not that accurately, I might add, and then he hops out of the car. I didn't even stop shooting, and I just had to adjust to him. I mean, he still almost got me, which is kind of unfortunate. And, my aim has, again, improved since this video, again, because I've just been using submachine guns the whole time. But, yeah, I mean, I love EMPs. I love one of the things I love about games, I used to love this about Overwatch, is there's a specific way you can take what someone is doing, their level of aggression, and you can turn it against them, and I absolutely love that. And in that case, that's what the EMP does, because as soon as first of all, they're going to freak out right away. They're going to be like, what? Because all of a sudden you can't do anything with the car. So depending on, like, that guy, he jumped a little bit, so he probably didn't realize he couldn't do anything in the car until he hit the ground. And then he was like, uh-oh, I can't do anything. What's happening? And then he freaked out. And then he started getting shot at, so then he just hopped out because he couldn't figure out what was going on, or it took him that long to respond. So now, this is one of the weirdest sequences I've had in any game I've played. This was over a sequence of games. I have a couple other clips I'll put up at some point. I don't know exactly how I'm going to set those up, but of what I thought and what I currently think to be people teaming in solo, and that's what I think is going on here, because on that dart, it looks like there's 2 guys in that building back there. Which is why I avoided it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go that way. And I can see this guy over here. I'm assuming I probably heard him. Again, I can't really tell right now. But I'm seeing on that building over there what looks like 2 guys in that building. And it looks like 2 dots. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if they're guys just kind of teaming or what. So I'm just going to kind of hang out here. And, obviously I'm in the zone and they're going to have to move in eventually. So this is a good position for me. I can see multiple different ways left to right, as long as I don't get sniped from across the river, but it doesn't seem that there's too much of that going on right now. And this was unfortunate. This is just a bad grenade on my part. Of course, I should have known he was going to start moving, right? But see, look, there were 2 guys in there. You see that on the dart? It's so messed up. Like, what just happened? And you'll see me get a pretty decent amount of kills here sitting at this bridge. I don't know what was going on with all these guys. So I get 1, and then look, there's a second guy along with the guy who's still in the building up there. So what is this all about? And then look, there's another guy under the bridge, which I don't know where he came from.
Collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
And then there's still more guys. Obviously the dart's gone now, but there's still more guys. So it's like, oh, there's another guy. And he kills that other guy down there. It's just like, I don't know. It was crazy to see. Like, I don't know what is going on with this, but there were, like I said, there was a very long sequence of games that I played over about 2 weeks ago where I just felt like people were teaming in almost every game I played, and I've never seen that before. But it just was one of those things that made me go like, what is going on here, dude? There's just so many people. So I don't exactly know, but and I think I might even get 1 more also. I'm not 100% sure. But this game also has one of the best finishes I've had. And I'll point that out when we get there, and then I may even slow it down too and break it down, because it's a really solid, final 2 kills. But yeah, so now I'm gonna grab a couple of these meds out of the bag, see if there's anything else I can grab. I didn't even bother checking the second page there. But you see that? Quick right, quick left. That's pretty much it. It's just ammo, and I'm just making sure I have all my attachments. That's really slow though. Normally should be much faster than that. Now, I've actually been in this position in an almost identical circle many, many times. Like, at least half a dozen times I've been in pretty much this exact circle in this exact situation, which is where I'm just, sitting here, and that stun ends up being critical at the very end of the game. So that I'm glad I grabbed that. But it's a good place to be. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's also like one of those risky places where, if someone's down there, then they're going to get you. And, yeah, so I don't know. It was just one of those things. But this is where I decided to play it out. Now, what I'm seeing right there is the other thing that I just absolutely can't stand in these solo games, and something that's pretty much changed my entire playstyle, and that is people in vehicles in these final couple circles. Just talk about cowardly way to play. Just in a vehicle, just driving around, or in this case, just flying around, just waiting. I mean, you know, it's one thing if you're going for challenges and that kind of stuff, but like if you're in the top 6 people and he's just flying around, just staying out of the action. He's going to fly up there until someone shoots him down. And of course, at this stage in the game, no one's going to be carrying rockets. And probably not that many people are going to be carrying mesh mines to even try to shoot a helicopter like that. I don't even know if most people would even attempt that. I attempt it sometimes. But he's just flying around. And it's just like, well, man, you know, I don't know what you're supposed to do. And then at that case, I did get pushed into that area. And I don't want to go out on the open beach to my right. So I'm just going to swim across. And see what that's going on. It was just a really weird random thing that just happened. While I was importing all this footage, I've got a crap ton of wins. I've imported 10 wins just today that I have. So that's at least 10 more videos that I have out worth of footage of just really solid wins. And I'm not at the point anymore of getting crappy wins. I've finally achieved the point where like the wins I'm getting are solid. The wins I'm getting are solid and they're deserved. And it's not like these lucky games where I get like 2-3 kills and get a win. I mean, any of that kind of stuff. It's pretty much all solid now. I rarely get less than like 6 or 7 kills on a win. And in fact, 3 of my last 4 wins were 10, 10, and 11 kills, which tie my highest and then set a new highest. And I also got a new high damage 2 of those 3 games. So like it's really just kind of progressed quickly. But I had a game get corrupted. I had a couple different files that said they were corrupted. I went to play them, including one game where I had 0 kills until the top 20, which was kind of a weirdo game. That's just a weird situation that happened where I just didn't run into anybody. And I had no kills until the top 20, and then I got 4 for the win, which, you know, that's still pretty good, but that's one of the weaker wins I've had recently. So now, that guy he did get out of the helicopter, but now as you hear him, he's driving around a motorcycle. And again, I don't want to face him, so I've just been kind of waiting for him to do that, and then I see him go to the rock. I'm a little distance away from that, so I'm not going to try to challenge him here. And I figured he was only using that as a temporary spot, but he's not. So now I do end up having to move in. And again, I've been in the same circle, in the same situation half a dozen times, and there's almost always someone up to the left. And so I'm just kind of keeping an eye out there, just trying to play it careful. But this is one of the best sequences I've had as far as the last 2 kills. As far as the last guy, again, like I said, I might slow it down. I probably will. And I'll run you through my exact thought process as I was playing it. Because it happened, it happened pretty quickly, but this was like the first time that I realized, like, okay, there's something different about my gameplay now, because it's been weeks and weeks in the making. I've put in 5 days of playtime playing my new playstyle, which is with the submachine gun, and really just getting into the action a lot more and just really trying to make more aggressive plays and getting really aggressive when the time is right. Not all the time, because that's the wrong way to play it, but when the time is right. And you'll see that here, because that's what I end up doing at the end of the game, and it ends up working out for me. So I'm still worried there's a guy up to my left. I'm almost certain there is. There's only 4 people left. I know there's the one on the beach. And again, I say this too, this is critical in this stage of the game. You really need to know where guys are. The more information you have about where guys are, the better off you are, because that allows you to know exactly what you can do. And at this point, I can't just charge across the beach over here to these rocks, even though that's basically what I'm going to do, because I'm still worried about that left side. So as you see, I'm just continually checking that left side. And I roll up here, which is where he was, and look at that. Do you see how quickly I snapped onto him? I was expecting him to be there, even though I wasn't really looking there. So as soon as the shots were fired, I was locking right onto him. Okay, so here comes the second to last guy. I'm almost positive there's a guy in the gas station, so I'm just waiting for that, just kind of looking to see what I'm working with here. And as soon as I move over this direction, there he is on the beach. Again, almost locked right onto him. He almost killed me. I was about to run. There's no cover, so I'm running over here for cover. I see that guy. I duck as I'm healing. I immediately throw my equipment, and I immediately push. Just like that. That's all it takes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's break this down in slow motion. So I'm actually not looking exactly straight ahead. I'm sort of looking to the right also to that rock, because I have a feeling he's there still. So as soon as he pops there, see him, turn, and basically laser him right away. So if you're sprinting or moving like this, you see how my gun is down? My guy's pointing his gun down. When you stop and pull up to shoot, it actually takes about a half second longer to pull your gun up, so you're a lot more likely to lose gunfights, and that's something that I've learned from over a decade of playing Call of Duty. So now I heard the dart there, and the dart exploded, which means that was his dart, so now I'm good to move right, and I clear it real quick, and as I'm moving here, you'll see I actually swap my equipment, because I recognize that I have the grapple on, and I know I have that stun still, so I swap it right here. Which is something you have to be able to do. You have to be able to swap on the fly in these tense moments. So I'm moving to the right, still checking left. I don't see anybody yet. I'm assuming there's a guy here to the right, so I see him, and I immediately swing, but I go way too far right, and then I go too far left. Now I'm really close, so instead of adjusting with the right stick, I actually try to strafe onto him, okay? So I barely kill him. I'm moving this way, sprinting toward cover, healing while I'm doing it, also checking my surroundings. Now that guy was blocked by the mini-map, but I see him now, and I go, uh-oh. So as I'm healing, I crouch, keep my position moving so he can't hit me, keep my position moving, throw the stun, and immediately rush him. I probably didn't even realize I had 0 in the clip with that rampart, but the proper play is to use the core right there, and I knew that, which is why I switched to it. Now I remember right after this happened, I thought to myself, I can't believe I just made that play. Because when you watch it in slow motion, it looks pretty cool, but in regular motion, it happens so fast. I was just like, dude, this is not something I could have done weeks ago, and really, my gameplay has turned into pretty much a lot of that now. So most of the wins you'll see going forward now are far better than the previous wins that I've had in the past. So that'll be good for you guys. And it's good for me too, because I'm getting a crap ton more wins now. So I appreciate you guys being here and checking it out. Thank you. Check some of the other ones out if you want to, and check back soon for another one.
Mission area secure.